Hey guys, how are you all doing? It's a girl Cindy. Welcome back again to another video. I trust you guys are having a good time today. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So in today's video, I just want us to please have a look at this clip right here. I want to implore you to please see this clip to the very end because it is very important. What this black woman shared in this video, as a matter of fact, it is trending on TikTok and it has gained over 5 million views and still counting. And people are reacting to this video right here. But before I show you, I want to show you a random video that just popped out on my For You page. Y'all know how we do it right here. Check it out.
What was the thought process behind that, mate? Because there must have been a plan, right? You know, you go into a bathroom armed with either your partner or your daughter's fake tan, or maybe it's your own fake tan, or maybe it's a chocolate bar that you're eating that ended up getting all over your face. You look like the type to fall victim to that sort of thing. But seriously, blackface in 2025? What's going on? And what was the plan after that? Going into the garden in what sounds like the vicinity of young children and doing this racist and untrue caricature. I mean, who do you think you are? And not only that, letting a younger relative of yours film you doing that, who then uploads it onto the internet for all of us to see. And to the person who uploaded it, what was the thought process? Like, what were you thinking? The thing is that, you know, I'm sure some people will find that funny. I'm sure the kleine zwakke mensen that do Zwarte Piet will appreciate the application of the makeup. But most of us aren't like that. Most of us look at this sort of thing and think, you're a racist prick. And we want people like you to be scared to show your faces in public. I mean, this overt racism that we're seeing in the UK at the moment, it's disgusting.
So after seeing this video, I said to myself, imagine what a grown-up man is doing in 2025. Now, this happened in the UK, and I hear people say there's no racism in the UK. Baby, there is. And it is out of control. So in the comment section, I read some comments coming from people like him saying that this is not racism. Now, my question is, why did you private your account on TikTok? Because people are coming for him. He thought that this is wonderful to post on social media. Now people, again, are coming for him, asking for their address, where they work. Apparently, people, for some reason, they found them. The wife has a restaurant or something. Y'all really need to do better. Do better. Anyways, you guys, I thought to bring that video here so you all can see and know what is happening on social media. Now let's see the video of the day.
Y'all, so never in a million years would I be thinking that I would be sitting here making this video, but this video is to Texas Roadhouse in Walpole, and this is specifically at the staff Deanna, which is a manager, and then Crystal, who is also a manager, and they worked today, August 27th, at around 7 to 8 p.m. while I was there. But anyways, so everything was fine, and then we got our second batch of bread. We all started eating, you know, nothing was wrong with the first batch, and then boom, my sister until my sister, she's chewing her bread. You know, usually my mom, she cuts it up, puts the butter on. My sister's 6 years old, so obviously she's not doing that herself. And mid-bite, my sister's like, ow, like there's something hard in here. So my mom takes the bun to inspect it. We open the bun to find staples. We find staples like baked into the bread. Like,
yeah, thanks goodness she didn't bite the whole bite.
Right, because that could have been, literally staples could have been in my sister's throat right now. So we didn't want to make a big deal out of it. Obviously mistakes happen. We're just praying to God, like, you know, there's no more staples. We're thanking God that she didn't swallow that part. Luckily she just bit into it and felt the staple. So we grabbed someone and we're like, can we just have a manager real quick? A manager comes over and we're showing her, and mind you, I'm gonna put all the clips in this video. We're showing her this right here. I don't know how it happened, but it's unacceptable. It has us kind of scared to bite into the rest of the bread. Like, I don't know how this could have happened. She takes a look, and there's not even one, but there are several staples in there. There's like a ripped off pack of staples in the bread. So she's like, yeah, this is absolutely unacceptable. I'm gonna go ahead and comp your whole order. This should not have happened. What I'm thinking, like my speculation, is that when the cookers were making the bread, when they opened the bag, the staples from the bag ripped out and fell into the dough. So we're like, yeah, that does seem kind of logical. Or maybe someone was stapling something, they got out and, you know, just fell in the dough. She's like, yeah, like I completely agree, but you know, this is a crazy freak accident and we're gonna comp your bill. So everything was fine. A second manager then comes over and then she's like, so I'm just concerned.
How did the staples get in the bun? How about you tell me? Yeah, how did these fucking staples get in my baby's bun?
And she goes, well, this is a staple-free premise, so we don't have no staples in this building.
There's staples on some paperwork at a table right next to us.
Clock it, and I got photos. I'm putting every photo in this. There's literally staples lying right on the desk, right like next to us. Like, you can't lie about that.
Mind you, she tries to ask, did we bring any staples in, or was my little one playing with the machines? Does your machine have staples in it?
Right. Mind you, these are just the things that you put the coin in and get like a little rubber duck from. How would my sister have gotten staples? And if you check the camera, we were running inside because they had texted us to come inside. We were like, oh, let's not waste our time. So we went straight to the reservation desk. My sister did not play with this, touch with this. We literally went straight to be serviced. Like, there was no stopping and picking up staples so that she could put in bread.
What kills me is just, you know, the lack of accountability. We went, you know, we go there all the time. Matter of fact, me and the little one was there 2 days prior. We eat at this restaurant every freaking week.
But let me say, if anybody knows me, they know that Texas Roadhouse is my last name. You can ask how many friends have gone to Texas Roadhouse with me. Everybody knows, like, I've been on that saddle every year for my birthday since I was, like, ordering off the kids menu before my mom even allowed me and my friends to order off the adults menu. I've been at Texas Roadhouse. It's not about a free meal. It was just about the lack of accountability. She came over here talking about she's concerned of how the staples got there. Okay, I'm kind of concerned too. And I don't know why you're saying like, oh, well, this is a staple-free premise when we literally have proof of staples. And you guys have stapled things right on your board, like with thumbtacks and everything. So you literally are lying out your teeth.
And then the contradicting statements, because Crystal says that when they're making the bread, that it's possible they ripped the bag open, the packaging of the bread or whatever in the kitchen, and that staples could have got into the bread mix or whatever. But then here comes Deanna saying, yeah, we don't have staples. I mean, so which one is it?
Which one is it? Do y'all bags got staples or do they not? And then, so basically, the check comes and only one meal was comped. We're not mad about paying the bill. We had full intent on coming to pay what we ordered. So it was just like kind of shocking that the first manager, Crystal, had relayed that we were getting a comped meal. This should never have happened. There shouldn't have been no close call like this. Okay, perfect. Like, we're not gonna get up and leave. She said if we still wanted to stay, she was gonna comp our meal. We stayed. It's just an accident. So then we got the bill and only one little meal was comped out. So we grabbed the manager Deanna again and we're like, hey, you know, we're not trying to be, you know, like spiteful, but I'm just confused as to how one manager is telling me that we're getting a comped meal for this and now it's only one thing that was comped. And Deanna had the nerve to say she doesn't feel comfortable with comping the meal because, for one, my sister wasn't injured by the incident that occurred, or because she knows that there's no staples on the premise.
Well, let's talk about injury. Just because she didn't hurt her tongue right in the moment does not mean an injury didn't occur. What if someone pricked theirself with the staples, got blood on it, and now stuck it in my baby's bun? You tell me, is there going to be an injury?
And why would we come with staples and give it to the 6-year-old out of us three? Out of me, my mom, and my little sister, why would I put staples in the bread that she was gonna eat? If I wanted to get the money, do you think I would give it to her? What? No. And if Deanna, if you have kids, if that was your kid that almost had a staple, do you think that you would be fine with getting told that you don't feel comfortable or the waitress doesn't feel comfortable with comping your meal? Nah, like, you guys are gonna get held accountable.
And I also get it that, you know, I'm sure restaurants deal with a lot of customers coming in there doing some bogus crap like that. But unfortunately, you do have some actual honest customers who believe in telling the truth. I'm a God-fearing woman and I don't lie. So just the fact that I was just looking for accountability and a level of respect. It wasn't about a free meal, but just acknowledging, I'm sorry, we don't know how this got in your daughter's bun. We'll make sure it doesn't happen again. And that would have been fine until Deanna came back and kind of took back what we thought we were getting accountability from Crystal. And then now their words are contradicting each other. And that's where it was, you know, now, yes, I was pressuring the meal being free, because honor your word. Be respectful. Honor your word. All you have is your word.
And she said that she's trying to figure out where the staples came from. And I was like, if that's what you're trying to do, I suggest you looking at the cameras to see what happened in the kitchen, because we didn't walk in this freaking building with no staples. Why? Just why? They were at Texas Roadhouse 2 days ago. Like, make it make sense. So this is literally at Deanna. She was wearing a black shirt and she had a black visor and she had long earrings that dangled on her ear. And this is at Crystal, who I was literally just complimenting up front about how pretty her mascara looked. I have no bitterness, no ill intent, no nothing. I didn't come in there to scam. You could tell my energy was welcoming from when I walked in. I was literally like, girl, your mascara looks so beautiful. Like, she put me on to which one it was. I wasn't there to cause no problems. It's the fact that y'all can't hold y'all staff accountable, and that I bet if this Deanna was in our situation, it wouldn't have been the same, and she would have been mad for her daughter or son as well. So this is unacceptable, Texas Roadhouse. This happened at the Texas Roadhouse in Walpole, Massachusetts.
Hi there. How can I help you over here? So we just had one question, because we were told by the previous manager that we did speak to that the entire meal would be comped. So we were just kind of curious as to where it went from comp to this one. If for something, you know, that didn't quite, you know, there was no injury or things like that. So that's why I took the kids meal off, you know, in good faith of what could have possibly been an issue, you know. But I'm not comfortable comping the whole meal today.
Okay. Okay.
It was just a
guess,
matter of
yeah, just
the
that
other
what
one
she
spoke
relayed.
prematurely, and that's so it's just a matter of honor what you said. You know, like we didn't come with it. Even when I addressed it, I told her that we didn't. You know, we come here all the time. We don't need a free meal, but because she said that, it was just to honor what you said.
Okay. For sure. Yeah, that's not, you know, that wasn't the conversation, you know, that she had with me. So I can definitely grab her so that we can clarify that, okay?
Okay,
it seems like we're
she
hearing
also
two
said that it
different
was that the bags came with staples, and now you guys are completely contradicting each other.
Yeah, so I will tell you again, I'm the managing partner. I worked for the company for 17 years, so I'm very thorough in the kitchen. She's actually not trained to work the kitchen.
But she must know to say, then how would she even be able to speak on bags being opening? If she's not in the kitchen, how does she even know how things are prepared or what packaged in? So it seems like she knew something, and then we speak to you and it's saying the opposite of what she said. That's where we're getting frustrated at now is both conversations are contradicting each other.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And again, that's great feedback that I can follow up with her because again, she has never worked a day in bake in her life. And you know, it is very possible that she did try and solve the issue with things that she thought that she was aware of. Hey, Crystal. They said you told them you were going to come up and full bill, but you're not upset that you said that.
Yeah, I said I would come, but I have to go check with my partner first.
Yeah, so I think that might
I don't remember. That was it.
That was insane.
maybe that's where the confusion was. So, like I said, I have documented everything. I've come what I feel comfortable with for you for tonight. And if you need anything else, I'm certainly here to answer any questions.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what was your name again too? Crystal. Okay, Deanna and Crystal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys.
Yeah,
We're all set.
absolutely.
I know, I'm glad you didn't. Because if you would have took a bite that had the staples in it. How the heck? Staples in bread? What?
Before I proceed, I just want us to please have a look at some screenshots of comments, and I'm going to show you a few stitches because people are reacting to this video right here, and she did some follow-up videos which we are going to see. Please stay with me because this is very important. So this comment says, "Hi, former Texas Roadhouse worker here. There is definitely staples in their facility. They are all in that office. Packs and packs and packs." Did you read that? And the next comment says, "I used to bake for Texas Roadhouse. That doesn't happen by mistake." And the next comment says, "Texas Roadhouse again." So does it mean that Texas Roadhouse is known for something like this? I just want to know in the comments if you have been there before, because the stitches, I can't make this up. Stay with me. Let's check the stitches out.
Texas Roadhouse, I'm glad you didn't comp their meal because now it looks like you're going to have to comp their entire lifestyle. How dare you sit there and try to say that they brought in staples, put them in bread, and gave it to their 6-year-old daughter. I've worked in the restaurant industry for 16 years now. The way that managers should have been bowing down to their feet, not only comping their entire meal, but giving them whatever else they can to make sure that they're happy and that they keep their mouth shut. And then you should have pulled off all the roles that you had set up for that night so that they can be inspected. Because not only we know why you didn't feel comfortable comping their meal. Let's be for real. We know why you didn't feel comfortable. But then to lie and say that you're a staple-free restaurant and you know you got staples in that restaurant, and then to insult them even more with corporate trying to give them a $70 gift card, that wasn't even the cost of their meal. So I hope they sue y'all into oblivion. I hope that they can retire off of the money that they get from your restaurant.
I used to work at Texas Roadhouse. Those staples did not come from the bag of flour. So that manager lied. And let's think about it, how we know that. First of all, they would have been industrial staples, not office little stapler staples. But they don't use staples because it doesn't seal the bag properly. And then it's a health and safety risk because, again, what if it falls into the stuff you're trying to make food out of? No go. It's always going to be a little string pulley or a cardboard paper tab pulley to open those types of bags. And essentially, I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know the setup of behind the bread counter. So where you see the servers grabbing the baskets from when you walk up and it's like across from the hostess stand, directly behind that, there's a huge metal table that the baker is prepping and rolling the bread out on. So I'm assuming what happened is someone was doing their checkout, because when you close out as a server, that's what I was, you have to staple all your receipts together and give that to the manager. So I'm assuming someone was like changing the staples and messing around and talking with their coworker that was in the back, the bread guy, and they were doing that on that table. And then that was probably a lunch shift because this sounded like they were talking at dinner, or they went to dinner. So then the dude rolled out bread and didn't see the staples laying on the metal table, and they got rolled up into the dough. That's what happened. Or it was like up on the little counter and one of the hostesses was messing with things or whatever, and it like got swept over onto the counter. Something of that nature. But staples are used on the premise all the time. But I would bet my life that that's how that happened.
Here is a list of some things that customers found in their food when I worked at Texas Roadhouse as a former employee. This is in light of the staple that was found in the bread at some Texas Roadhouse recently. I haven't worked there since 2023, and I finally feel safe to share some of these things. Specifically, I worked at one of the locations in West Virginia, and I feel perfect saying that because my manager was a raging bitch, and she can't do anything to me now because... But anyways, one time, one of my tables found a piece of steel wool in their roadkill, which is the ground up beef, like patty type thing. So it was really in there, and it was from, the steel wool that they use to clean the grill and whatnot. Yeah. Guess who got yelled at that? Not the cooks, not the manager, me. Guess what my manager did? Let them yell at me. Because I cooked the food. Number 2, a fingernail. This was a fake fingernail, and it was in somebody's salad. It was red. It was a long fake fingernail with bits of the real fingernail on it. It looked kind of like a tomato. Guess who got yelled at? Me. Number 3, some type of little beaded magnet thing, a piece of this like little fake glass beaded magnet. And this is a bit odd because this was something that they used back in the day to hold the orders up when they were paper orders, and they would use it to hold it up so that the cooks could see what they were doing. I think someone found it in their baked potato, and I guess the magnet had like a little gem on the front of it, and it fell down and into someone's baked potato that they then took home in their to-go order. So guess who got yelled at? Me. Number 4, a cockroach. This was also baked onto the bottom of a piece of bread that a table was eating. Guess who got yelled at? Me, because I'm the baker. Number 5. Now this one's just a bit funny. A dirty diaper. This was inside the peanut barrel at the front of the store. There was a dirty diaper in the peanut barrel that people reach and pick up peanuts out of, and that we used to use to scoop up the peanuts to give to people. I am the one who found that, so it's a bit different. But yes, someone had placed a dirty diaper in the peanuts, and then we gave them to people. Finally, honorable mention, a dead rat was found also in the peanut barrel in the back of the store. Thank you.
So I might have witnessed the actual craziest thing I have ever seen at a restaurant in my entire life last night. So right around 7:30 last night, my fiance and I got to Texas Roadhouse in Walpole, Massachusetts, and we're seated at a table, and almost immediately when we're seated, we can tell there's some sort of issue going on at the table directly behind us. The guests were a few women and a little girl that looked like she's probably 5 or 6, and we couldn't hear too much because the music was really loud, but We could hear a little bit, and from what we gathered, the little girl bit into a roll and there were multiple staples in the roll. Thankfully, I don't think the girl actually ate any of the staples, but Jesus Christ. And to make things worse, I hear what I assume is one of the managers telling them that they didn't have staples on the premises, aka insinuating the people are lying to get a free meal. Meanwhile, there's a girl at the table directly behind us with a packet listing all the menu items. And there are staples in that packet. To blatantly lie about something so serious like that is crazy and absolutely grounds for a lawsuit. But Texas Roadhouse needs to address this and work on their safety protocols, because this was absolutely unacceptable and completely avoidable.
I work at the Yeehaw restaurant, and my first thought when it came to those staples in the bread was that somebody was doing their checkout or some type of paperwork on top of the bread counter. Baker didn't realize, turned around with that big thing of dough, that massive dough, and then just slapped it on the counter and continued cutting. Or maybe somebody was up at the host stand, because that host stand ledge is right above the bake counter. They were probably stapling something. Like, we have hosts up there at the host stand stapling stuff for us all the time, right? Like, as managers, don't you give them stuff to staple all the time? Sometimes they turn around and talk to the person in bake. Someone may have been walking through the alley into bake, headed to the to-go room, and they could very well have been carrying a bunch of boxes of staples to restock them in the to-go room. Maybe one of the boxes was open. Maybe people were horseplaying with each other, throwing staples at each other. That is not out of the realm of possibility at all. Over the past 20 years in restaurants, I have seen a lot of foreign objects in food. I've seen a roach, I've seen a worm, I've seen gnats, I've seen bugs of other sorts, I've seen gloves, I've seen plastic wrappers, like the entire plastic bag that the food is kept in. I've seen a corner of a plastic pan lid, like a big old one, like probably 5 inches long, in someone's salad. There was chewed gum in somebody's fried appetizer once. I've seen an earring. I've seen wax paper. My point is, things happen in restaurants and objects end up in food. We all know that, right? It's just crazy to me that this MP, this managing partner, is like, they brought those staples in. And girl, you really should have just swiped that card, because look at all this now. Almost 6 million views on that video from Maya and her family. You're on Fox News, babe. The health inspector came. I am sure your phone is ringing off the hook from the market partner and corporate and whoever else. Like, you handled this so bad. And I know damn well when your family or friends come in, you just swipe that card and comp their $100 bill like it's nothing. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, it's your business. But you didn't feel the need to comp a $100 bill when your initial manager said they would. And the daughter was chewing on staples. Ma'am, I could talk about this forever, because there's so much wrong with this situation.
Black family, a mom and 2 daughters, goes to Texas Roadhouse. The youngest daughter had to be, 8 years old maybe? She bites into the roll of bread that they bring out when you first sit down, and there is staples in it. Unused staples, about 5 in there. Not just 1, 5. Very politely complain to a manager about it. The first manager, Crystal, tells them that it's unacceptable, that she's going to comp their entire bill. Then all of a sudden, the managing partner, acting partner, whatever, Deanna, she comes up to them and tells them, long story short, that she feels uncomfortable comping their entire check, and starts to insinuate that maybe they brought the staples in themselves, and says that it couldn't possibly be Texas Roadhouse's fault, because they're a staple-free environment. There's no restaurant that's going to be staple-free. Let's be so for real. You're insulting their intelligence. They're still keeping their composure, and not even keeping their composure, just being absolutely sweetheart through this blatant disrespect. Meanwhile, they're spotting that there are staples all around on the billboard. There's staples on a packet in the next table over. There's even a white lady that made a video about it, saying that she witnessed the entire thing happening. Well, there's proof. Texas Roadhouse, you don't have to sign them a check, and a big one. Not that $70 gift card you tried to buy their silence with. $70. Let me tell y'all one thing. This situation is indicative of how the restaurant industry feels about Black people. Let me tell you, as somebody who's worked in the restaurant industry for the last 10 years, they hate us, and they hate our money, even though it's green like everybody else's. The amount of things that I have witnessed. First of all, I have seen white tables. I have seen managers beg and grovel to white tables because there's an eyelash an eyelash, I kid you not, in their food. That could have come from their own face. You're telling me staples, they brought the staples in and put, yeah, for what? Some Texas Roadhouse bread and entrees? Be so for real. Mind you, this family has been regular patrons for years, loyal to this company, putting money in this company's pocket. I remember, I'm from New York. I moved back from New York to Florida because I lived here for a long time in my childhood as well. So I moved back. My first serving job here was at a restaurant, and I really enjoyed working there until this incident happened. A black table comes in, and one of my older white coworkers was like, ugh, I got a Momo. And I turned to my Hispanic friend, I'm like, what is that? And she gives me a look like, and she's like, I don't think you want to know. And I said, girl, you better tell me. I start pressing her. Come to find out, Momo means monkey, and that's like some widespread lingo through restaurants, especially here in the South. Like a black table comes in, they call them momos. Like, oh, who wants a Momo table? And they auction them off. Mind you, my husband and I had gone to a place in Clearwater, and that exact thing happened to us. We could feel that we were being auctioned off. And you better believe when our server came and treated us right, we triple tipped them. 80% of the tab, and we spent about $300 there, so be for real. Anyway, that's not the point. They're calling us monkeys, okay? I worked in an actual fine dining establishment for 3 years, and the entire 3 years I listened to hosts watch for the reservation names, and if it sounded even remotely close to a black name, they would make fun of it. They would say, oh, I bet they're gonna look like this, disgusting, oh, they're ghetto. For example, and they would act this out too in person. For example, there was a man, a woman, and 2 kids. A little family coming in to try to have a nice time. The guy is wearing a hat. It's against policy to wear a hat. He comes in, they sit down, and the host, even though there is another white man across from him wearing a hat as well, because they bent the rules a lot for white people there. I'm just being for real. She goes to the black man, she's like, you need to take your hat off. And he's like, okay, I will, but there's also a man literally across from me wearing a hat. And she's like, I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about you. You need to take the hat off or else I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Mind you, this is in front of his 2 babies. And they're confused, like they look sad. The mom is obviously stifling her anger. This is what black families have to deal with going out to eat, even just existing. So they get up and leave, and then she proceeds to tell everybody that, oh, they left because they couldn't afford it. Oh, those types of people can't afford it here. Yeah, just know that they hate our patronage as well. This is not an isolated event, but it is definitely time to start speaking up and time to make these companies and corporations pay for treating black people and other minorities like trash. So y'all, I'm gonna tag the creator down here. I need you guys to please go to her channel. Go to her channel. I want y'all to like, comment, share, repost, whatever you gotta do to boost it, because I want them to get a check, and I want Texas Roadhouse to have to answer for what they did.
She did some follow-up videos, which we are gonna see, but before I show you those videos, she posted some pictures of her sister, the 6-year-old sister who nearly ate staples. So she posted some pictures when she was probably 3 years old, because she said in her video that was not their first time at Texas Roadhouse. She said also in the video that they've been going there. Now, this is just to prove to people that she is not lying. Why couldn't the manager, why didn't she take accountability? Instead of, saying that, oh, you're brought in the staples, make it make sense. Now, beside me is, the post. You can please pause to read. She posted 2 update videos just to update, people, because people wanted to know if she's suing or not. Like, people really want to know. Now, stay with me. I'm going to show you these 2 updates videos from her, and I'm going to show you some screenshots of comments so you guys can see what other people said about, this whole situation. Check these videos out.
Hey y'all, so this is a quick update video. I just wanted to post real quick before I make my way into the police station. I do want to let you guys know that all the commentary, all the support, all the reshares have been so greatly appreciated. If it wasn't for you guys, this video wouldn't have been seen, my voice wouldn't have been heard, and the pressure wouldn't have been on. And it's truly thanks to you guys that I got a phone call bright and early this morning from corporate, Texas Roadhouse. They were made aware of the situation, and I gave them all the details. I literally, at the time of the situation, I had my notes app open on my phone. I was documenting everything. Approximately this time, my sister takes a bite into this. At this time, we're greeted by this waitress. At this time, another manager. Like, you know what I mean? I have everything documented. I made sure to record to have our backs, and it's just insane. For one, you're lying straight to our face. You're telling us you have 0 staples. 0. She was like, there is absolutely no possibility for a staple to have gotten in your bread. Okay, all right, let's just even backtrack from the 0 staples and just like, how is it that you don't have any staples, but we look at your bulletin board and there's things stapled all over that, and then there's an employee onboarding packet directly at the table across from us. Directly. I can't even make this up. I have pictures of it. I don't care if they were looking at me sideways as I took pictures. You're not going to sit here and lie to my face or gaslight me. There's literally staples, and I documented it. Not only that, but the staples, if you guys seen in the video, and I will repost it because I know it was at the end. I should have put it in the beginning. But if you look in the video, if you take a good look at the staples, they are unused. Those staples have not punctured anything. They have not been put in paper. Those staples are in that perfect condition that when you take them out the box, that was not an accident. Like this, there's malicious intent behind this. So I do just want to give you guys this update to let you guys know. I appreciate you guys doing everything on the surface, but best believe I'm working hard beneath the surface. I have filed a complaint with corporate on their website. I have talked to corporate on the phone and filed a complaint. They did offer I think it was a $70 gift card, and they're like, of course you don't have to use it at the same location, you're welcome to take the gift card elsewhere. No, I don't. It's not about the money. It's not. I don't want your food. I don't know. Like I'm not going to be bought with a petty $70 gift card, babes. My sister's life is on the line. And to give you guys an update on that, my mom and my little sister Yanni are currently at the emergency room to have x-rays performed on Yanni. Just because there was no injury physically at the site does not mean that my sister couldn't have gotten, you know, like what if someone pricked their finger? What if the metal that had been on that staple had been contaminated or affected before it had reached the bread? There's so many things that both of these managers weren't even considering, and then their stories just weren't even aligning with each other. It was just bogus to me. So I really appreciate you guys being there for me and bringing all the attention to this. Best believe I'm digging deep. Police report, corporate complaint, the Walpole Board of Health is going to be on their way at 3 p.m. when Texas Roadhouse opens to conduct a full-on investigation. And we're getting the camera footage because this was not a mistake. Them staples were unused, and there was several of them. There wasn't 1, 2, I counted 5 staples. Imagine if my sister swallowed, and just because we don't know that she swallowed or didn't swallow one doesn't mean that she didn't maybe swallow a little piece of one, or maybe her teeth didn't feel it on the way down, doesn't mean it didn't get in her system. So we're praying to God that, you know, everything comes out right after this x-ray visit or ER visit. But Texas Roadhouse, I'm on that ass. You picked the right one. Yes, I presented myself in a calm demeanor when the situation was, you know, actually unraveling and taking place. And that's just how my mom raised me. Hey guys, so I can't even say some of y'all because all of y'all have been asking for an update. I do want to just say that I'm not going to discuss any legal actions that I am taking. I do want to acknowledge that all the reviews, all the comments, all the reshares, literally I'm looking at the reviews and they're going on and on. I'm looking at Texas Roadhouse Facebook page, their Instagram page, and there's comments on every post talking about the staples, talking about the incident, and just bringing it to their attention. And I am so greatly appreciative of every single action that all of you guys have. Is that your shadow? Oh yeah, that is your shadow. That everybody has played a role in helping my video get out there. And to me, it's not necessarily about the money. And I have come across some comments that were saying that this was well rehearsed and that, you know, it's kind of funny or odd that our bread was the only one that had staples. If you think it's odd, don't you think I think it's odd? Out of all people that would bite into staples, do you think I would wish that on my little sister? The comment, it just doesn't even make sense. Honestly, I'm just looking for accountability, like I mentioned beforehand. Deanna, I don't even know I don't even know how to talk about your service. That was just 100% not acceptable. And everything after you straight up lie to our faces, I can't even regard. I can't even take you seriously after the first thing you relayed to me was a lie. The very first thing that came out of your mouth after stating how did the staples get in there was that there's no staples on this premise. You basically started off your foundation with a lie. Therefore, you have nothing solid to work on. I just know that sometimes God works in mysterious ways and that this is something that we are going to overcome. And God knows all truth. It's going to be told. They can check the cameras. In fact, that's what we want them to do. And as for an update on my sister, she did receive clear x-ray results, so there was no staple found inside nowhere, luckily. But goodness. That was literally by the glory of God. Like I said, she bit onto that staple we are so happy that it did not get any further than just, you know, the tip of her tongue and her teeth. It could have resulted in something way worse, and our concerns would have only been heard if it got to that point, which is unacceptable. There should not be staples, not even one or two, like I said, but there was 5 staples clumped together. If you think about something falling, like the first manager had explained, when she said that it could have been possible that a bag was opened and the staples fell, those would have been used staples. The staples found in my sister's bread were not used. They had not been used to secure anything. They have not been punctured in paper. They have not been used. So those stories can't even align. It does not make sense. Unused staples could not have been holding the dough bag. Those staples came from somewhere else, and they need to check the cameras. They need to check the cameras. I don't know what, Deanna, I don't know what you're trying to hide. I don't know what bonus you're trying to save, but come on, baby. There was also one other thing that I wanted to bring to you guys' attention. Yes, it did seem like Crystal was in the innocent. However, the reason that I wanted to make sure that her name was still included in the picture was because in that video where Deanna was basically stating, "Oh, I can grab Crystal if you'd like," and I said, "Okay," and then she said it again and ended up grabbing Crystal. Crystal had said, "Oh, I said that I could comp your order. I just need to speak to a manager first." However, that was never said. When she spoke to us that very first time we brought the bun to her attention, she said, "This is unacceptable. I understand you guys' frustration and your concerns. Your meal is going to be getting comped." She did not say anything about, "I need to check in with the manager before I comp your order." If you listen to the voice message when she said that, and my mom was like, "I don't recall," that's why I laughed. I couldn't even keep a straight face, because now I know that they're orchestrating back there. They're orchestrating what to say or what to say to not get caught up. But I got you on camera. I got you, Deanna. I got you, Crystal. Y'all lied to my face. You did not say that. You did not say that you needed to run anything through another manager. To our concern, you were the manager that we were reporting to. When we asked the random waiter that walked past, as soon as we seen the staples, we didn't even grab our waitress. We just grabbed a random guy that was walking. We were like, "Hey, like, we need to speak to a manager." He brought Crystal. We thought that was the manager. So she told us we were going to get a comped meal. We didn't think it was going to have to get approved by the next manager. We thought we were going to be receiving a comped meal. So again, there's now it's not about the comped meal. It's not about the comped meal. It's about literally taking accountability, and you guys put a child's life at harm. A child. And you guys didn't even have the decency to say, "I'm sorry"? We didn't even get an apology. Babes! Like, that's literally what this is all about. And I'm like, thank you guys so much.
So beside me are some of the screenshots of comments I grabbed from her comment section, so you guys can see what other people said about Texas Roadhouse situation. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. This is totally unacceptable. As a manager, people expected you to even like be sorry, very sorry, and try to see how you can make your customer happy. But instead, you chose not to take accountability. You turned around and said that they brought in the staples. Make it make sense. So you didn't think that there are cameras there. Of course. Right. Anyways, people are boycotting Texas Roadhouse. People are leaving negative reviews. People are dragging them, not only on TikTok, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I am happy the result came out and baby girl is doing fine. People are wishing and hoping and asking her to sue Texas Roadhouse. And what is $70? Like, I don't know. Make it make sense. This could have gone worse if this girl had swallowed the staples. I saw a comment from a nurse. She talked about if she had swallowed the staples, what could have happened to her, you are not even considering that. What you were saying, that they brought in those tables, whereas the first manager was okay and, you know, took accountability and, oh, we are sorry, and she was just trying to calm her customer down. But Deanna, you chose violence, and this is what you're getting. I thought to react to this. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, guys, and thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to share this video. We need as many people as possible to see this video. Please be mindful, be watchful. Thank you so much for coming to watch this video. I appreciate you all. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and of course, come back for another video. I'm gonna see y'all in my next one. Y'all have a sweet evening. Bye.